Well, Kev, ugh, I can't even speak. That was a good start, wasn't it? I couldn't even speak properly. Welcome back to Cozy Court. Apologies in advance. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like shit. I'm still rough from my birthday trip to Berlin at the weekend, so I'm just struggling to stay alive. I'm trying to get a yogurt down me for some food. So Sai's gonna like hold the fort today in terms of stories because I don't have any and I don't have any energy. So I'm gonna start us off and just set the rules of the show for anyone that's new watching. And then yeah, Sai's gonna come with the story. So yeah, quick reminder, and for anyone that's watched before, and if you haven't watched before, this is how it's gonna work. Basically, we'll present a case. So Sai, I know you've got two or three today, haven't you? And also, if you are watching live, you can put your cases in the comments and we'll give you the chance to bring something live to the group as well. But basically, we'll present a case, we'll let you as the audience vote. Is the person or situation guilty or not guilty? And then me and Sai, there's no middle ground. You've got to give a set answer. And then me and Sai will deliver the full verdict after reading the comments and discussing it together. So we don't want anyone sitting on the fence. This is a straight guilty or not guilty, basically. So that's how it's going to work. Have you got some juicy ones today, Si?
I've got two good ones, and then one which is a little bit I'm not sure about, but I've got three. One from an older one. I'm not going to say where they're from actually because it's just a bit too obvious. So, yeah.
Okay.
But yes, also I think it's worth noting that it only took Kate 20 seconds to mention her birthday on this LinkedIn live. Which is so good.
It's all about me today. This is my one day of the year that I get to celebrate, you know, so why not?
Really is good. Put your feet up. I'm gonna rock and roll. Okay, so this is an interesting one. So this is the case from a recruiter who works in quite a candidate short market, who has so it's hard to come across candidates, and when you find them, you try and get them out to as many different places as possible. They've got this one candidate who's a unicorn, who's excellent, and they've sent it over. They've got them like 4 or 5 interviews, like requests from hiring managers straight away. So they're like, wicked, great candidate, interviewing at 4 or 5 places, happy days. The best one of the bunch, HR team reach out once the hiring manager is engaged to say, a bit of a bum fight on the ownership of the candidate. And they were like, oh, okay, can't be another agency because they told us that they're not speaking with any other agencies or anything like that. They then go on to say, actually, we've got their details on our internal ATS here from like however long ago. But the candidate is swearing that they've never applied for a job there, never submitted anything, never been sent by another agency to go work there, which you'd have to believe as well, because it's so candidate short. These people just don't move around a huge amount, right? Then they turned around, and when they were challenged, so the agency challenged the client to say, well, how has this person got on your ATS then? Because the candidate's saying this and the other. An internal recruiter was doing some sourcing and found them and had sent them out some communications about potentially inviting them in to come and apply for jobs there. And because of that, the fact that they existed on the CRM, they went back and said, as per our terms, introductions only apply for people who are not known to us already. That was like the line in the terms, which I'd love to hear Backdoor Barry's take on it. And so they said, you're not having ownership. So everyone's raging about this, right? But they're thinking, that's one interview. We still got him 3 or 4 others, right? Let's just, pray the ratios and probabilities. And then it comes down to offer time, and he gets an offer from everywhere. And the one he takes is the one where the client won't pay the fee. Now, is the client guilty of having too onerous terms there or not? That's the case. What do you think, mate?
Start putting your opinions in the comments, but I'm going to give mine. I think, right, if he'd have replied and engaged and said, yeah, I'd like to have an interview or let's have a chat, fair. But not if some internal recruiter sent a message and they never replied. Like, it could have gone in the junk box, or I don't think that's fair. Like, otherwise, how the fuck would we manage all this ownership? Because you think how many recruiters, internal or agency, reach out to candidates every day and they don't respond?
Yeah,
How
just
would that
outbound.
work?
And what I found was what I found mad about it was it's not there's been no like consent or like permission from the candidate to even be in your
No.
database in the first instance. It's just you've probably mapped them and put them in your ATS because you want to try and get hold of them, and unsuccessfully. Yeah, it just didn't sit right with me. And you would have been praying for the candidate to take one of the other offers. Like, imagine that you found a candidate, it's a big
I
fee,
know.
right?
And you know the money you've lost then. Like, you literally know.
Yeah, my heart went out to it. Now the terms saying candidate introductions are only valid if, I can't remember what the line was now, but candidate introductions are only valid for those who are not already known to us. That's such a vague and like open line in there. It should have been picked up when people were signing the terms. Personally, I think that is definitely something that should have been picked up operationally or commercially. But B, like, that's just how many agencies have signed up to work with these clients, just saying, yeah, okay, cool. And how many other people have lost out on big fees because of that clause and term. It's crazy, isn't it?
And I think, like, if they'd have said when they started working together, look, our terms mean this. So just so you know, because what would you have to hide if it's so genuine? It'd be like, look, if our internal recruiter has reached out to a candidate and we'll send you proof, then yeah, it's ours. But the fact, I almost think in those instances as well, have they pushed that candidate because they know they don't have to pay a fee?
Yeah.
If it was close, do you think they'd
Yeah.
be like, oh, we just have to pay a fee on that guy?
Yeah. I mean, these are multi-billion pound. I mean, the market that they're in, we're talking about multi-billion pound companies. So you'd hope that, like, a 75 to 100 grand fee isn't that big of a deal. I think it's a big deal for agencies, definitely, but you'd hope that that isn't a determining factor for these multi-billion pound companies. So what's your verdict?
Guilty.
Guilty. So the client is guilty for having two onerous terms. It's not even much of a close case, that at all, is it?
I just think it's shady the way they've got it. I think if you felt they were genuine terms and you wanted it to be fair, why would you not like really make it clear to the agencies, look, this is our rule, this is how it works?
Yeah, I agree. It just feels like it was just super under the radar, and they're going to catch a few people out throughout their time. I would say, obviously, putting my ops hat on, that the agency is guilty of not knowing their terms of business or reviewing terms of business.
Yeah,
And
they should know. They should have read it, but still, I just think, if, like I said, if the candidate had engaged with the company, had a chat, whatever, I'd be like, fair.
yeah,
But they haven't, so I just think that's so shady.
yeah, yeah. That was a killer as well, because I think the fees are between 75 and 100 grand. Like, that's huge money. Like,
Oh, it would kill you.
I
Wouldn't
don't.
that kill you knowing?
Well, the thing that I think that was the biggest salt in the wound is they got him other offers. They got him other offers as well. So they were in control of like 75% of the offers, and they picked the one that they wouldn't get a fee on. So I think
And
that
also,
was
do you know what makes it worse? Is it's not like that's the only job they had him in for, and they could be like, oh, look. And also, it's not from the candidate, because I suppose they'd want support from an agency for all of them. But if you only had them in for one role, you could sort of take a back seat, let them crack on. If you've got them in for other roles, you're going to be prepping them for all those roles. You're basically prepping them for the other job as well, because he's going to take tips from the other preps. You're helping them get that job. This has actually happened to me before, where I've not exactly the same situation, but an ownership thing. And so I had them in for other interviews, and I was thinking, I'm just helping you get. And the candidate actually was like, oh, you really did help me. I was like, great.
I know, nice one.
Thanks for that.
Thanks. Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think it's a killer. So I think that is a resounding guilty on the client for having too onerous terms and shady, sneaky terms and holding them to it.
Yeah, 100% guilty, and you should be ashamed of yourself, whatever business you are, for doing that. For a poor recruiter and their commission.
I know. I there's so much money. 100 grand
No,
deal.
I honestly, I
25
would
grand.
be livid. I would have punched my steering wheel like the
Oh yeah.
last story I told. I would. I would have been livid.
Yeah.
Do you want to give your next one, and then we'll bring it to the audience to submit a case? So yeah, if you're watching, if there's anything you do want to submit for our third case, start typing, because
Yeah.
you've got time.
Yeah. And I know some people that are in the audience, I think they said that they were joining today. So I know you've got some cases to bring, but I will start with case 2. Okay, so case 2 is called, I've actually given these names so that I can, as my pointers, so I remember which story to tell. So this one is called the director pressure, in inverted commas, right? So,
Okay.
so delivery consultant is getting hammered by their manager for not getting enough CVs out the door for a client that a big account, major account that they need to deliver loads of IT contract candidates to. And they're under pressure because they've got loads of stuff's come through, market's picking up, it's getting busier, you want to capitalize, you don't want to miss out on placing jobs, right? It's competitive still. The manager, for some reason, starts coming in and saying, oh, the director's raging. The director is fuming that we've not hit our CV targets last week when we got this much money on it. He is spitting, is what the manager's telling the delivery consultants on the desk, right? And they're like, oh, yeah, like, it's fair enough, right? You're not hitting targets, fair enough. You're gonna take the pressure on, and they're a good bunch. Right? They're like, right, we need to work it out. And anyway, day goes by, and then again, the manager comes in. Director is tamping, raging, fuming, like, and he's like, and they're like, God, again, what's he mean? What's he? Yeah, he's just like, why is no one staying late? Why is no one doing this? And they're like, oh yeah, we're trying. Like, we are literally trying. We've got a few CVs pipeline. Third day comes round, manager comes in again, and he's like, don't know what to tell you. Director's raging. He's angry. He's livid that we still haven't got these roles covered off. One of the delivery consultants turns around and says that nah, that's enough. I've had enough. What is this pressure about? I'm not having it. I'm just going to pick up the phone. I'm going to call the director, and I'm just going to say, because I feel like my manager's not presenting our case very well, I'm just going to call them to say, this is what we're doing. This is the plan. This is what we're doing to, thinking outside the box. So they call the director and open up by saying, listen, I know that you are livid with us. And the director goes, what are you on about? And he's like, I know you're absolutely raging about the fact that we haven't got these CVs delivered to this client. And I know it's a major client for us. And, it's finally picking up and we're not capitalizing. He's like, I don't know what you're on about. Like, I've got no idea what you're talking about. Like, I know that the roles are still open, but I'm guessing you're doing something about it. I've seen some of the stats come through on Born Analytics, so I know that you guys are working it. He's like, so the manager is just using the director to create this like fake pressure.
I was wondering whether this is where it would go.
Fake pressure onto the delivery because they're saying, he's raging, he's livid, he's spitting, he's really going to town on it, which is just like ridiculous. So the case here is, from the delivery consultant's point of view, is the manager just using a tactic that some people use to get people to get a wiggle on with stuff, or are they just being an idiot by just creating this ridiculous fake pressure for all the consultants involved, and also just making it up?
Yeah, well, we'll discuss it and get your votes in guilty or not guilty if you as you're watching. I just think it's pointless. Like, what an old school tactic to use. Like, you're lying for starters. I just don't think. I think it's unnecessary. Like, they were working really hard anyway. It wasn't like, if you just said to me they were doing fuck all, I'm not saying it would be justified, but they were working really hard. Like, if you want to boost them to get more CVs, you should be supporting them more and be like, right, come on, I know you're trying really hard. What can we do to get more candidates, more CVs? I just don't see the point in using the MD. And also then, like that could paint a bad picture of the MD to the delivery team.
Yeah.
And that's not going to work, is it? They're going to feel like, oh shit, like what if are our jobs on the line? Do they like us? Do they not like us? So it's unnecessary, like, worry and stress.
Unnecessary is the word. It's just such an unnecessary way to go about doing things. Like, don't get me wrong. I think you can allude to the fact that, listen, this is a major account. We're not hitting the numbers we need to hit. I'm sure there's going to be pressure coming from everywhere. But to go into that level of like dramatizing it with bloody, he's livid, he is. He's spitting. I think that's the line that they use when I got the voice note.
He's spitting feathers.
He's spitting, yeah. And then I think for me the biggest thing about that one is there's ways to G people up. There's carrot, there's stick, there's all that sort of stuff. But in no planet, on no day of the week, is lying the way to inspire people to do anything.
Like, how stupid do they look now? Like, they've gone and spoken to the director. The director's like, what are you on about? That managers can have zero respect. Well, if I can imagine that if I was in the delivery team anyway, I would be like, are you lying? Are you not? I'm not going to listen to you. Like, you're an idiot.
It's ridiculous. And also, what's the director then do? Does the director then go to the manager and go, mate, I just had the weirdest phone call from one of your delivery guys?
Yeah.
Like,
why are you telling them that I'm kicking off when I'm not kicking off? Is this recent?
Recent. This quarter.
I just think, like, such shit management. Like, I haven't heard anyone do that for like a long time. And I just think, like, it's more a reflection of the manager's capabilities that he can't manage and support and lead his team. And also, like, it could be just a really difficult role and they are trying. It's like, look, we can't fill them all, but just keep doing your best. And like I said, like, help them try and get more CVs instead of going, oh, the director's fuming, livid, spitting.
Yeah.
What's that going to do?
She's nothing. Fear. It's like trying to incite activity through fear. For fear of what? It's just stupid.
Were they rookies or like what level of experience?
No, the delivery consultant that I got this from has been doing it for like 3-4 years. They're like a seasoned delivery person, just a delivery consultant.
Well, I just think it's just, in my opinion, terrible management tactic, and you've lost all the respect of your delivery consultants now because they found out you were lying.
Yeah, and the director might be looking at you going, what a rubbish way to manage a bunch of people.
What are you doing? Like, why are you telling them that? If anything, like, if that was the case, say the director was actually livid, wouldn't you as a manager try and protect the team, like, and try and filter that message so they're still motivated, not go, oh, he's fucking fuming with you?
Yeah. I mean, what are you getting paid for as a manager if your job isn't... People always get that wrong, though, don't they? I think sometimes when people go into management, they think that they just need to be the megaphone that goes down from leadership downwards, which isn't right. I think you'd need to, not that you need to dilute the message or not that you need to change the message or bastardize it or anything like that, but there's ways to take what's being said at that level and get it communicated in the right way to get the right response from people. So I think that's just another example of poor management, like you say. But yeah, the lying for me, man. It's like also, if I was a rookie in that delivery team, I'd be like, so what if he's angry? Like, so what?
Say it to my face. I'd be like, come on then, tell me.
So what though? Like, I'm working. Like, I'm here on time. I'm doing what I'm meant to do.
Grafting.
Like, tell me what. Like, so what are you angry for? So yeah, anyway.
In my first agency, we had the director of the agency was a difficult character. Like, he genuinely would have been the person to be like putting the pressure on, getting annoyed. And I remember there were so many times where he'd almost wanted to make you feel like you might lose your job.
Yeah.
Even though you were working so hard, you know, when like you are grafting, it's horrible. Like, you don't want to make people feel like that. It doesn't work.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. And do you know what? I reckon I've worked for challenging directors before, and as a manager, I probably might have funneled the message down wrong when I first started out managing larger groups of people. But I learned quickly to try and protect my team from that fear mongering type stuff, or just that too aggressive thing. It took a long time though to learn that, but I think I think that fear thing never works. Like, I think we should all understand consequences, but I don't know if we should fear consequences. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think we should know what the consequences
I don't
are.
think there should be fear. Like, I don't think your managers or directors should be inciting fear. That is not a good place energy-wise to be working from. You're never going to be productive enough to get the results that everyone wants you to get and the consultant wants to get when you're coming from a place of fear. Never.
Yeah.
So if you are a manager watching, don't think, well, that's a good idea. It's a shit idea.
Yeah, it's
absolutely not.
Yeah,
I think that's another pretty clear guilty.
Guilty. Yeah.
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, I can't honestly, like, that is, I can't believe that. We've had one from the audience, and this one doesn't, it's Angela submitted this, right? So I'm going to read it out because I can resonate with this. This is a pretty clear-cut one for me, right? But let's bring it to the court anyway. So Angela would like to bring to the court those companies that take up your time with a meeting, expect a detailed proposal, and then either don't reply or, even worse, are taking your information elsewhere. Now, I have had this happen to me quite a few times, even in the last few months, I would say. So I can seriously resonate with this. As a supplier as well, site, is this resonating with you as well? Just want to get your take on it.
Do you know what? I actually don't care that much that time about it. Like, I'm pretty sure I can usually tell from my meeting with someone. I feel like I've got a good read of people, and just from the energy in the room and how much they're engaging, I can usually tell if they're going to just fish for information and a proposal or ideas and stuff like that, which is half the reason why, shameless plug, rec experts exist, is so that suppliers can charge for their 1 hour, discovery calls, so that they have to pay us for our knowledge, right? But
yeah,
for me, I'm like, I can work out in that room whether or not how much detail to put in the proposal, because I kind of got an idea of if it's going to go the way I want it to go or not. But do I think that I don't know categorically that anything I've given people in terms of my approach to solving problems for recruitment agencies has been shared with other agencies. I don't think so. I don't know. Will it have potentially? Yeah, probably. How do I feel about it? I don't know. I just don't know who they're going to give it to that's going to execute it better. I think I like, if it's my idea about how to solve a problem, it's really my idea on how to solve a problem and my experience that's going to help me solve it. So you can take the idea on how to solve it and give it to someone else. But the tire kicking and the sheer volume of meetings that you do sometimes to not get anything, it can get you down if the money's not coming in. Full stop. Like, if you are just doing those calls, it will get you down 100%.
It'd be the same if you were a recruiter, wouldn't it? If you were having what you think are great BD meetings and you get in terms of business out and then nothing, it is like, it's frustrating.
It will definitely get you down. I think though, what I try and think of it, I try and put a different lens on it. Give value, extract value. So if you can give value to show that you're a useful resource, useful person, useful supplier, useful recruiter, useful consultant, talent partner, whatever you want to call yourself, or in whatever scenario you're in, but then also make sure you're extracting something. Like, I try to make sure I get something out of everything, whether I map their tech stack in my head or with my note taker, or I find out how they're doing or what's not working, what market is working, like, always try and make sure that I'm extracting some value as a bare minimum from it. But I hear your pain, Mrs. Cripps. Oh, it's Angela. I just realized who it is.
Thank you then. Don't you recognize the picture?
I didn't see the picture. Sorry, it's a bit small on StreamYard. Yeah, I feel your pain, Angela, and it's sad to hear that people are taking the information you're sharing and sending it elsewhere. But no one will be like you, Angela.
For me, it's not so much the taking the information I worry about, because, like you said, honestly, I'm like, even if you did take some of the stuff we've talked about, no one's going to fucking do it like me anyway. So I don't care about that. It's more for me, like, the time, as in the wasting of time of the meeting, especially if I've traveled, but also like I've put that proposal together, you know, I've vetted it in the meeting. You've like, sometimes I even get people go, yeah, we'll do it. Like, and it's, I'm not sitting there thinking, something's not right here. I think personally, so I'm just going to put my honest opinion out there. I might get people massively kicking off about this after from the male side of the gender. I meet a lot of men. Angela, you might be the same as me because a lot of business owners and recruitment are men. Sometimes I think they just like the ego stroke.
What, of meeting with women?
Meeting a woman, you know, they like they're giving you all these signals, and you're like, you know, as in buy-in signals I'm talking about now. I think they just enjoy the, oh, she really wants to work with me, and you know, all of this. And then you leave and they're like, oh shit, I got a bit caught up there. I don't really want to do that, but I've said yes now.
Yeah,
And you send a proposal, and then either it's no reply, or a lot of the time it is no reply, or it's like all of a sudden a change of heart. I just think sometimes people get caught up in the whole, like, the buzz of somebody wanting to work with them. They've got a woman there, like, you know, they're feeling all the egos being stroked. Not that I'm flirting with people in meetings, I'm not saying that, but
you're saying
I'm not
clearly
saying
wanting to
every
work.
situation is the same, but I've said it to you before, haven't I? Like, I'm starting to get more attuned to it now. So I've put steps in place to sort of test people's commitment and credibility. But yeah, it's the not. I think out of respect, at least just reply and say sorry, change my mind.
Yeah, not replying is criminal. I think that's just poor form. Like, you know, how were you raised? But yeah, this is that manosphere stuff. And actually, I was going to reference something that I saw on LinkedIn. I actually missed it when it first got posted. But did you see Will Grashoff? Is it Grashoff? Will Grashoff?
Yeah. No, did he post about it?
No, he posted about
his wife.
He posted about his missus. He posted a picture of his missus who's looking for a job.
Yeah.
And he makes a joke in that post to say, yes, I know I'm punching. His wife or missus is an attractive young lady. And then the next post that he's then done is like how she's been followed on Instagram by like thousands of people.
People have actually found her on Instagram. And he said, I didn't know, what's he say? Massive sympathy for women using LinkedIn or something. And yeah, I saw it. But it's true, because as Angela adds, the harsh reality of it is, and look, you can be as switched on as a woman as you like, right? And we've brought stories up about this on KOSI before. Do you remember the meeting? Yeah. Can you meet me at my house because the plumber needs to come? Unfortunately, we are in a world where sometimes I think they say yes to a meeting, or they ask you in for a meeting because they're like, that'd be quite nice.
Yeah.
Bit of eye candy for an hour. They've got no intention of doing anything. It's really annoying.
I'm actually, and you know what? I actually don't like people that fill diaries with useless meetings anyway. It's one of my biggest bugbears at the moment. When I go into agencies and I'm trying to have a look at what people are up to, and they're like demoing things over there and looking at things over there, and I'm just like, anything but what needs to happen at work. I just see Tom.
Yeah, Tom remembers those stories. Yeah, Tom's always in the room. Obviously, works in the studio we record KOSI at, so he's heard them all. He's heard all the stories. Yeah, it's just the reality of it, and it, you know, there's nothing you can do to avoid it sometimes, because you can do all the due diligence. I can never fucking say that. Due diligence, but you can't. It's hard to know sometimes until it happens, and you've just got to. It is, but going back to Angela's original point, it is really fucking annoying because our time is limited. Not just us as suppliers, like you lot as consultants watching. You haven't got time to have your time wasted by clients just having you in for the sake of it.
I did it when I first started doing BD. I was speaking to a QA manager, like a testing manager. Now, no disrespect to any QA or testing folks out there, but it's at the lower end of the IT spectrum in terms of roles, right? And I thought this QA manager, he was like, yeah, I've got this project coming, that project coming. And I was gassed. I was going to make so many placements. He was like, I was jumping on calls with him left, right, and center. I went and bought him a coffee. I bought him a ham and cheese toasty from Starbucks. Like, yeah, I like, you know, back then I didn't have a lot of money and I had to pay for it myself and then claim on expenses, then wait until the end of the month to get my 5 £10 back or whatever it was. And then nothing happened. And it was because I just was speaking. He was just stroking his ego of, oh, look, I've got this recruiter in now. I can have a free ham and cheese toastie and a coffee out of him. I'm sure he didn't just do it for the ham and cheese toastie, but if he's doing that every other day, he's never buying lunch. Like I'm just saying, people must do this. So agencies who are doing that, agencies, companies, clients, whatever it is, anyone wasting time with no intention of buying or taking RIP, your IP to other people is a big fat no and a big fat guilty.
And also, you've got to think like you're ruining potential future relationships, because like I've had it done to me recently by an agency, literally beginning of March, complete fucking waste of my time, said yes there and then, has ghosted me since, put work into a proposal for them. If he comes back to me now in a month and goes, oh, remember our chat, blah, 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 it's like red flag central for me, because if you're going to treat me like that, how are you treating your consultants, clients, candidates? And I want to work with decent businesses that value my what's up here, not just, not that I'm fucking stunning or anything, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm coming in to help you, your business earn more money. Like, you've wasted my time.
Yeah, I agree. And I forgot what I was going to say then.
But thanks for bringing that one, Angela, because very, very current with what's been going on. Haven't had any other ones submitted yet, so if you've got a third one,
I have.
Let's hear it.
Right, okay. I think this one's probably a little bit more contentious, actually. So I gotta get this right. So consultant going to senior consultant. They run a financial year target piece, right? Contract and perm, everyone's numbers contribute to their targets. They have written targets, i.e. the deal value when the bell rings. Then they have build targets and build numbers recognized. That's what's invoiced. Now, generally, written targets help you get onto like incentives, like quarterly stuff. The build targets is where you will get your promotion. That's the promotion tier, and that's the pay rise tier. So once you get to billing certain levels, right? So this consultant who's predominantly done perm has been asked to focus on contract because the business has decided that, we need to have more contract revenue, so on and so forth. And they've said, I'm up for it. Let's do it. I'm here for the cause. Let's go. Right. And it's great because he's, doing the deals, making placements. He's worked it out. He's starting to do well. Now, he strategically switched his focus because the company wanted to switch focus to building a contract desk, which means his build numbers are kicked out a little bit, right? Because if you place a contractor and it's worth 12 grand over 6 months, £100 a day, 2 grand a month, 12 grand over 6, in these months, so since January, you'll only have seen 6 grand, and there's 6 more grand going into the next financial year, right? Contractor starts in January, 2 grand a month to the end of that financial year. Yeah. He is going to miss his promotion target by like 8 grand or something like that. And his point is, well, you asked me to do contracts. So I've been doing contracts since January. I've got the book up. The running book going into the new financial year is good. So whilst technically I haven't billed the target, I've written more than I was meant to write because I've been doing loads of contract deals. And I'm going into the year with my book starting much higher than it would have been the year before. And I've still got my perm business. And they said no to the promotion because it's you didn't hit the build number, so you're not getting the promotion. Promotion comes with extra day from home. I think there's something to do with the healthcare and a pay rise, right? So is the agency guilty of being too hard line about the promotion criteria here? And have they unfairly not given this consultant their promotion to senior consultant? There's a lot in there. So just to recap, perm recruiter, always been perm recruiter, good recruiter, hits their numbers, on track for promotion, already had one so far since being with the business. Business decides in December, we're going to switch to contract focus. Let's get this consultant to do it because they're good. So he switches his focus from perm to starting to do contract. Contract revenue is recognized over a longer period of time, which means his build figures took a bit of a hit, but he is starting the new financial year with a starting book, which is impressive. Because he wasn't doing perm deals in month, he's missed his promotion billing target by like $8,000 or whatever it was. And he's saying, well, surely I still get promoted because it's $8,000 and I've been doing what you asked me to do and doing it well, which means the revenue is being recognized later, but I've still written the business. Is the agency being too harsh by not promoting him?
Right. So my thoughts on this are, you've got to look at it from two perspectives, because the problem is if you bend, so they've got clear boundaries in place, which I think is good, clear expectations, because some agencies don't, and it's all up in the air and people don't really know when you get a promotion or not. So I think that's one good thing. If you bend it for one person, even if by chatting it through it's justified, I think the danger is that then everyone's going to be like, oh, well, I didn't get this and I didn't get that, and in the future want the same thing. I think if it was me, I would extend that promotion period to give them a full year of contract, or just a bit longer, because they've asked them to change, not market, but you know what I mean, their focus, however long through the year. And they're doing a good job. It's not like they're not doing a good job. They are. So to take that away and them not have the option for a promotion for another year is quite, like another year from that point is quite harsh. So I would extend the period, or go, right, let's look at it from January when you started contract to January, because that's fair. I'd probably extend it actually, because that's quite a long time for them to wait. I'd say, look, we changed you in January. That's what they do in April to April. This.
Yeah, April.
Yeah. I'd say, right, let's add on another 3 months or 4 months. So you've had that period of time. And that gives them the chance. They're going to do it then, aren't they?
They're going to do it. They'll do it. They'll do it in April.
But it's fair then. And no one on the outside can say, well, that's not fair, because, well, actually, technically, all done is just give, because they've changed their focus. Whereas if you just bend the rules at that point, every April, then there's going to be people trying to get the rules bent for them. So I can see it's hard, because you're trying not to cause a riot then, are you?
Yeah.
I don't know, what do you think?
I think it's, I can't remember what the number is as well. I think the target number is like 250 or something like that for consultant to senior. So $8,000 as a percentage of 250, like to be off by that much, I would say that's in the margin of make a call anyway every year. Like I've never been that strict on got to hit the numbers, because actually someone that hits the numbers but is an absolute nightmare at putting anything on the CRM, using the systems, like, you know, helping each other, is a bit of a dick. Like I'd rather promote the person that misses by 10 grand but does all the other stuff, because actually they're more well-roundedly a valuable person. So I think $8,000 out of 250 grand is well within the margins of make a call on it. And the fact that you've got someone who can do contract recruitment, like you strategically wanted to move to do it.
Doing well quickly.
Doing it. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe that someone's not just looked at that and gone, take him for a chat, just get him promoted, and just say, well done for doing what you're doing, well done for launching it, and just don't talk to anyone else about it. And if people want to come and ask a question about it, say, right, well, do you want to go launch contract desk as well? Like, because if you do and you're going to do those numbers, we're up for it. Like, just think I think that's just,
yeah, I can see why it's a difficult one, because I can see the difficulty. It depends how big the team is, right? You know, I think sometimes it's more difficult if you've got a closer knit, smaller agency, because you can't hide it under the radar, and then other people start moaning, even if it's not justified that they're moaning.
Yeah. Like
you don't want to unsettle, because once one person starts moaning, then someone else starts moaning, then someone, and that can ruin people's productivity.
And everyone knows when Connor from Beckenham has had a pay rise and a promotion, because he comes in with his brand new Arnie trainers, doesn't he? And like everyone's like, oh,
he's on a shopping spree, booking a holiday, booking Dubai, somewhere else, Marbs or whatever. People know.
Yeah. So what are we saying then on that one? Because I think I get why there are rules, why there are barriers, but I don't know. For me, I think the agency are guilty of just of just making a bad decision and not inspiring.
So they took it away from him completely for the whole until the next year.
Yeah, no promo.
Yeah, I think that is a bit harsh, because that's like a whole year you've got to wait for your next promotion. That's really demoralizing. Like, I was the sort of person when I was a consultant where I would be like, "Fuck you, I'm leaving." I would have, I would be like, "I'm off."
Well, I think part of the reason why they've gone a bit hard line on it is because he's built this book up now. So for over 3 months, he's chucked in 10, 12, 15 contractors or whatever it is. So it's like he doesn't want to leave because he's just walking away from like a book. He's got commission coming in. I think they're probably thinking, that could be what they're thinking.
But I hate that though, because they're like, "Oh, but you're going to get really good commission. Why do you care?" And it's like, there is other things that people want, like a promotion, job titles, job security, higher basic salary. Yeah, I'm gonna go with guilty, because I think it was unfair to take it as a hard no for the whole year. If they'd have said no for the moment, but we'll review it again next month, I'd probably say not guilty, because I can see why they were doing it. But I think, thinking of how I would feel if I was the consultant, I'd be fucking pissed.
Yeah. I also think it's mental when people have their promotion cycles linked to like a year, because it should be linked to aptitude, numbers you're delivering, etc. It should be a gate rather than
every 6 months.
Do it in 12 months. Like, so you also, what happens magically in December or March that means the next month is the metaphorical start to the year. Like, depending on how your year goes, you could have, do you know what I mean? It could overlap. You could have a really shit start to the period, but really strong end, really strong start, and then a really end finish, and you'd be worse off. So I just think it's mad when people have their promotion pathways linked to times and timelines. I think you should have a platform to discuss promotions and stuff like that more regularly.
We've had quite a serious one today.
Not many stupid things. No, I think it's because we're missing people like they were quite sick. Were they serious? Yeah, they were quite like situations.
Yeah, but, well, I mean, look, it doesn't always have to be a joke on this show. I think it's good to like talk some of these things through. But it's because we had Alex Dick in the comments last time, didn't we? Bring in some of he couldn't make it today. But no, I've enjoyed that, debating over some of these serious, and now I don't feel so rough, so that's quite good.
And what
I will look forward to turning my ring light off, because it's giving me a headache. So light.
And what no one saw before.
No
one saw beforehand was I literally got into this meeting room about 30 seconds before we went live on air, because that's the life of a consultant who's traveling around all over the gap.
And I was actually worrying Si wasn't going to come on and what the fuck I was going to do, because I had no story. So I was like, if he doesn't turn up, I can't even wing it on my own. Like, I'm just going to be like sitting here twiddling my thumbs. So thank you for running the show today, Si.
Oh, good.
Because I couldn't even say welcome to KOSI at the start.
So good.
Not good. But we haven't actually set the date for the next one. Actually, stay in the green room quickly afterwards, we can do it. But it'll be in about a month's time where we'll do the next one. So remember, if you're watching, you can send your submissions for KOSI Kourt whenever you like. We have got an email, which is on the YouTube channel, but DM it to me inside privately. We've got Instagram, whatever, anonymous, or we can say your name. It's up to you. But get thinking, like, we know you all have things for us to judge. So get thinking, get some in, or you can bring it live. You can just put it in the chat box as we're talking.
Yeah.
But yeah, we will be back in about a month. Keep an eye on LinkedIn for the next date, where we'll be taking recruitment on trial again.
Brilliant.
Basically. Thanks everyone for watching. We're going to go back to our day jobs now, but we will see you all soon. But yeah, Si, stay in the green room.
I will.
See you later, everyone.
Bye. Everyone.